Hi everyone, it's Miss Rodriguez, and today I just want to go over some of the problems that you may have had a little difficulty with on the mid-chapter checkpoint. So this is problem number 3, and on Think Central, it would have said select two fractions that are equivalent or equal in value to 4/7, and they give you four choices. Now, for you to see if two fractions are equivalent, you must cross multiply and see if the floating numbers are the same. So to see which two are equivalent, we're going to have to test them all out. All right. So we can go ahead and say, is 821 equivalent to 4/7? And I'm going to do that by cross multiplication. I always start from the bottom, from the denominator. So 7 times 8 is 56. And now I have to do 21 times 4. To do that, we might need to do a little bit of work here on the side. So 21 times 4, I'm going to multiply 4 times 1, which is 4, and 4 times 2, which is 8. So 21 times 4 is 84. And as we can see, these are not equivalent. So we wouldn't have selected it. Then we can move on to B. Is 12/21 equal to 4/7, which is this one? So let's test it out by doing cross multiplication. So now we have to do 7 times 12, and we've been studying our 12s family, so we should know that 7 times 12 is 84. And then we're going to do 21 times 4, which again, that might take a little bit of work because we don't memorize the 21 family. So 4 times 1 is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8, is also 84. So yes, 12/21 is equal to 4/7, or 4/7 is equal to 12/21. So you would have marked that one on Think Central. Now we have 2 left. Let's see if 2/14 is equivalent to 4/7 by cross multiplying. So 7 times 2 is 14. And again, we don't know the 14 family, so 14 times 4, we need to work it out on the side. So 14 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16, and you regroup 1. And 4 times 4 is 4, and 1 is 5. So that's 56. And as we can see, they're not equivalent. And now we're going to try the last one. It's 8/14 equal to 4/7. Let's cross multiply. 7 times 8 is 56. And again, 14 times 4. You do a little bit of working out on the side or on scrap paper. 4 times 4 is 16. And 4 times 1 is 4, and 1 is 5. As you can see, when you cross multiply, you get the same answer. So for number 3 on Think Central, you would have marked choice B and D. These are the two fractions that are equivalent to 4/7. This is question number 4, and it's the same as question 3. Select two fractions that are equivalent to 1/6. In order to test this, I have to cross multiply. So again, 2/12, we're going to see if it's equivalent to 1/6. So let's go ahead and cross multiply. 6 times 2 is 12, and 12 times 1 is 12. So yes, these are equivalent. Let's do the same thing for choice B. Is 3/12 equivalent to 1/6? Well, let's see. 6 times 3 is 18, and 12 times 1 is 12. These are not equivalent. Now let's move on to C. Is 3/18 the equivalent to 1/6? Well, let's see. 6 times 3 is 18, and 18 times 1 is 18. So yes, these are equivalent. And we got to try one more, even though it says select two fractions. Want to make sure we're right. So 3/24, is it equivalent to 1/6? Well, 6 times 3 is 18, and 24 times 1 is 24. These are not equivalent. So the two fractions that are equivalent to 1/6 are choice A and C. All right, boys and girls. So question number 9 on the mid-chapter checkpoint is asking you to enter 3/18 in simplest form. Now remember, simplest form means you are going to make the fraction smaller in number, and you're going to divide both the top and bottom, the numerator and the denominator, by the greatest common factor. All right, so we can do the factors of 3 and then the factors of 18 to find the greatest common factor of both. So factors of 3 are just 1 times 3. That's it, because it's a prime number. And 18 has 1 times 18 and 2 times 9 and 3 times 6. So now we can see that they both share a 1 and they share a 3, but the greatest common factor, the one they share that's the greatest, is 3. So I'm going to come back here and I'm going to divide the top and the bottom by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 18 divided by 3 is 6. So this is what we would enter on Think Central. So 3/18 in simplest form is 1 over 6. Here's another one. Number 11 is the same question as before. It says enter 9/12 in simplest form. Again, simplest form means the numbers are going to get smaller, and I'm going to divide by the greatest common factor of both the 9 and the 12. Again, in order to see what the greatest common factor is, we have to list the factors of each number. So factors of 9 are 1 times 9 and 3 times 3. And factors of 12 are 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. Now we can see that they both share 1, but they both share 3, and 3 is the greatest common factor. It's the greatest factor they both share. So I'm going to go ahead and divide the numerator and the denominator by 3. So 9 divided by 3 is 3, because 3 times 3 is 9. And 12 divided by 3 is 4, because 4 times 3 is 12. So 9/12 in simplest form, see the numbers got smaller because I divided, is 3/4. All right, so question number 12 says, enter the pair of fractions as a pair of fractions with the smallest common denominator between the two fractions. All right, and our fractions are 2/3 and 5/6. So when we're rewriting them so that the fractions can have the same or a common denominator, we're going to list multiples all the time. All right, and so we're going to list multiples of each denominator. So we have to list some multiples of 3, and we have to list some multiples of 6, because those are our denominators. So 3, 6, 9, that's a few multiples of 3. And multiples of 6 are 6 and 12. So as we can see, 6 is the least common multiple. It's the smallest number or multiple that 3 and 6 share. All right, so what that means is the denominator is going to be a 6. Now, this one is already a 6. So this one, my friends, does not need to be changed at all. But 2/3 does. So 2/3, and you have to work it out somewhere, is going to be renamed into a denominator with a 6. Okay? Because they have to have the same denominator. So now you have to ask yourself, how do I get from 3 to 6? Well, you get that by multiplying 2. And whatever you multiply on the bottom, you multiply on the top. So 3 times 2 is 6, and 2 times 2 is 4. So the two fractions will be 4/6 and 5/6. 4/6 is another name for 2/3. Now, the pair of fractions now have the same denominator. Here's question 13. It's similar. Enter the pair of fractions as a pair of fractions with the smallest common denominator between the two fractions. So now we have 1/3 and 1/2, and we're going to rename them. So we look at our denominators, and they are different, and so we're going to list the multiples of each denominator. So that would be multiples of 3, multiples of 2. So some multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9. And some multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6. Well, there you found it. 6 is the least common multiple. Least, because it's the smallest common that they both share, and multiple. So that means that 1/3 is going to become a new fraction with 6 as a denominator, and 1/2 is going to become a new fraction with 6 as a denominator. So now we have to figure out the numerator. So we think, how do we go from 3 to 6? We do it by multiplying times 2. And whatever I do at the bottom, I do at the top. So 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Here's my first fraction. So another name for 1/3 is 2/6. And now I have this one here. So 1/2 will be renamed to have a denominator of 6. And how do you get from 2 to 6? Well, you multiply times 3. So if 2 times 3 is 6, 1 times 3 is 3. Here's my second one. So the pair of fractions with a common denominator will be 2/6 and 3/6. I hope this was helpful, boys and girls. And now we're going to pause this video and start another video to help you with word problems.